All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash, and will honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Here we have an article, all right, with, going more and more into Esau's wicked technology. All right, now it's going into this facial recognition, which, they've been doing since, a very long time. All right, but here it says denying government agencies facial recognition technology would be cruel, claims Microsoft president. All right, because they've been doing this to begin with. All right, but now here it is. They're saying it would be cruel to stop giving government agencies facial recognition technology. Which is really just an excuse for them to turn this into a militarized state because that is what they're planning to do. All right, and this is going to be able to, like you see right here, which they have programs and softwares like Snapchat and all these different things with they use these filters. But if you notice, when you put your face there, it scans your face before it puts the filter on, and it all takes that to a database. So when they set up this beast system, man, there's gonna be no hiding, all right, from this devil. Okay, they're gonna be able to spot you from miles away. They're gonna have checkpoints. They're gonna be able to read if you have the chip or not. And these facial recognition systems that they're gonna set up is gonna be able to detect your face, whether you're a suspect or whether you're in the system. And in order to be in the system, you're gonna need to have that chip. All right. So for those who don't take the chip, all right, if the Lord is not with you, these facial recognition things right here will be able to pick up on you real quick, you know, because once they pick up on your face, let's say you're walking down the street, they pick up on your face, all right, and they can't find you in the database. They'll know that you don't have a chip, you know. So it says, and in a state where it's mandatory, well, you know damn well they're gonna come after you. So it says Microsoft's chief shot down calls to stop selling facial recognition technology to governments, saying it will be cruel to deprive state agencies of the ability to monitor the public's every move despite his own misgivings. And in China, they have this thing called a social credit score, I believe, you know, where basically it's like a credit score, but for your behavior, you know, and there are consequences if you're a bad citizen, meaning if you, let's say you cross the street when a light isn't on walk, or you get parking tickets, all these different things, you know. Man, these elites want to completely enslave us, all right, but they don't understand that the Lord is not going to have that happen. Okay, so it says more than 85 human rights, Salakia, more than 85 human rights groups wrote to Microsoft, Amazon, and Google in January urging them to stop selling facial recognition software to government agencies over fears of state surveillance and the potential threat to activists, immigrants, and others. However, Microsoft President Brad Smith told Business Insider, apparently without any irony, that such a move would itself be cruel in its humanitarian effect. It says, I do not understand an argument that companies should avoid all licensing to any government agency for any purpose whatsoever, he said at the World Economic Forum in Davos last week. A sweeping ban on all government use clearly goes too far, the software giant's president added. Because here in America, man, you have no privacy, all right? They know everything you do, they watch everything you do, and they're making it more and more blatant, okay? To the point where, yo, these cameras, man, they're gonna be everywhere. It's like in the trailer of that movie Gray State. Okay, let me pull it up real quick. All right, because hey, that movie had a whole lot of stuff in there, and no wonder they murdered the David what's his name, David Crowley or I forget his name, but they took him out and his wife and his kids. All right, and they claimed it was a suicide or whatever they claimed it was. But that movie was revealing a lot of things that these elites were planning, and they couldn't have that, you know. And so they basically, did away with him. Maybe it'll move faster if I close these tabs. So let's type in Gray State trailer. Which I've shown this trailer many times, but it's good to refer back to it, man, because it has a lot of good stuff in there. All right, but I'm just gonna go to a specific part of the clip. Now you got Satan out here trying to mess with my computer. Wow. Okay. Yeah, here it is, right here. All right. Boom. You see that? 24/7 surveillance, monitoring. All right. That's what's gonna be happening, man. Cameras in your homes, all these things. Okay. And they have facial recognition, man, so they know who's who and who's doing what. Okay. So it says, while Smith went on to cite the example of facial recognition being used in research to diagnose the rare Di-George syndrome, he also referred to it being used to find missing children in India. Unfortunately for Smith, this latter claim is actually contradicted by the Delhi High Court, which last week slammed the system because it had not borne any results or helped in cracking any missing children cases or missing children case. All right, so this you can see was just an excuse. These devils they don't want to stop. One, they're making their money. All right, but it's all part of the agenda. So of course they're gonna try and find some excuse as to why it's justifiable. Okay, it says privacy advocates this and civil liberties groups fear facial recognition software will be used to monitor or track people, and are concerned that it can erroneously identify someone as a suspect. All right, now let's look up the word erroneously. Let's get the full edification. Yeah, this computer's wow. Right. Erroneously. In a mistaken way, incorrectly. You see? So basically, with this facial recognition stuff, they can say, "Oh, it says, and are concerned that they can erroneously or incorrectly identify someone as a suspect," which people they do that now. Okay, so how much more for times like this, you know, when cameras are doing it? It says not to mention that it has been shown to exhibit racial biases. you know and they show it in certain movies where they have certain cameras and certain things that algorithms that are put in place to predict, what I mean, based on a person's search engines, or I mean search history, all right, or places that the person goes and stuff like that. They can predict whether this person is going to be a criminal or is going to commit a crime in the future, all these different things, so they can arrest you. I saw a scene where they arrested this dude on suspect that he's a future criminal. Now, what kind of madness is that? It's gonna be a completely militarized state, no freedom, none of that, man. Total enslavement, and they, man, this is the system of the beast, man, and they're gonna have that mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, all right, to be the brand, all right. That's gonna be that's what they're gonna use to brand people. You know what I mean? So it says activists urging tech companies not to sell software to governments point out that the break then fix method typically favored by tech giants simply doesn't work. We are at crossroads with face surveillance, and the choices made by these companies now will determine whether the next generation will have fear being tracked by the government for attending a protest, going to their place of worship, or simply living their lives. The ACLU's Nicole Ozer warned. Don't worry, it ain't gonna be no next generation, man. All these different things, man, they're gonna be in this generation, because the scriptures say this is the generation in which all these things are gonna be fulfilled. All right, and that's why it's gonna shock a lot of people, because they see these things happening, they fear it, but they're not expecting it to happen in this time, because they see the regular way that things are in this day and age. So they think that, that's how it's gonna take a long time. Maybe their kids are gonna have to worry about it. No, all right, it's gonna happen in this generation, man, and it's gonna be sudden and swift. Okay, Ezekiel 12 verse 27. All right, and the scriptures tell us that, man. All right, let's get this precept real quick. All right, so it says, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And that vision, all right, is going into the prophecies, all right, which the prophets were given. See, a lot of the times the Lord will say, or the scriptures will say, the vision at which this prophet received, or write down the vision, and so on and so forth, because that's what happened. Like, for example, the book of Revelation, you had John, the Revelator, he was given visions, okay, all right, of the future, of things that will happen, and he wrote them down. Okay, so by vision it means what? The prophecies. That's why it says that he seeth, because that he is referring to the prophets, and what the prophets were referred to as seers. All right, he says, so the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the times that are far off. Okay, or that are far off. So they're basically saying, yeah, these things you've been saying, and this is the number one thing you hear. Oh, my grandmother, my great grandfather been talking about the same thing you're talking about, and it didn't happen in their time. But hey, the Lord said what? This is exactly what they were gonna say, and that's what they're doing. Okay, because they'll say, "Oh yeah, yeah, I believe people are gonna be microchipped and stuff," but that's gonna be in the future, though. Like I don't see that happening now. They're gonna destroy the structure that structure of civilization as it is now. All right, and once that's done away with, there's nothing stopping them from just rebuilding it with that system. That's their agenda, man. They're not waiting for no generations for that, man. These elites want their new world order as soon as possible. All right, but ultimately it's a setup, because the Lord he's putting the spirit on them that the minute they start, he's gonna stop it. Because the scriptures say in Malachi, they shall build, but I will throw down. And that's why the Lord said when he's about to fill his belly, meaning when these elites, these Rothschilds, these Rockefellers, these rich banking families, these Edomites, these so-called Caucasians, all right, when they're about to get their new world order fully in place, and get satisfied of being accomplished, or having accomplished their goal, that's when the Lord is going to send his son back and destroy it all, man. All right, it's all going to be destroyed. He's going to crush their hopes, their dreams, all of that, their pride, all of it. And we're waiting for that, man. All right. So it says, verse 28, therefore say unto them, thus saith Yahweh power, all right, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore, because these people don't think that what we're speaking are the words of the Lord. All right. They think that these are just our words. But the Lord said what? There shall none of my words, because these visions are words of the Lord. The prophecies, they are all the Lord's word. Okay. And they do not, the scriptures say the Lord's word is not going to come back to him void, meaning it's going to accomplish that which he sent it to. So it says, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore, but the word which I have spoken, all right, shall be done, saith the Lord, power. Okay, so that's what's going to happen, man. All right, so here she's talking about, the next generation. No, 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 it's going to be in this generation. All right, don't worry. It says, remarkably, given his recent comments, Smith has voiced his own concerns about facial recognition software in the past in relation to discrimination. Now, I say this thing, man. Look, the world we live in right now, man, look, these devils know that they have a short time. That's why you see so much stuff coming out. The things that are coming out now wouldn't have been said or brought to light years ago. You got governors talking about they did blackface, that racist stuff, but on a different occasion. You got them talking about abortion bills, being able to basically just murder the baby even after it's born and breathing. All these different things that are going on. The mark of the beast. They're literally making laws, which they're trying to be slick with their words. They're making laws to make the microchipping their employees okay, or put it out on the forefront, while trying to hide behind, oh, this law is really to make it so it's not mandatory. How about you make it so you don't even have the chip allowed? No, they're gonna say, no, no, no. This law is making it that you're not mandated to get the chip, But in order for this to be a law, that means the chip has to be offered. You know, you see how they like to play the words, man. So they're basically giving gateway for the chip to be a thing, to be a practice. But then what they're using to appeal to the people is that you're not going to be mandated to take the chip, but the chip is going to be, you know what I mean, is going to be there still. Which all they got to do is indirect pressure. You know, they can tell you, yo, in a month from now, you know what I mean, or yeah, they'll give you this. You know, they'll tell you something like, yeah, you don't have to get direct deposit, but just know in a month we're not going to be dishing out checks anymore. So it's like, well, you know what I mean? They're forcing you indirectly. They're not telling you, hey, if you don't get direct deposit, we're gonna fire you. But they're just telling you, well, you know what I mean? This is up to you, you know? Or something like your key card is not gonna swipe you into the building anymore starting next month because everything is being upgraded to the chip. Now we're not forcing you to take the chip, but just know that that's how things are working here. You see how they like to play on people, man, and they're gonna be doing a lot of that stuff. Okay, so going on, it says where was I? Right here. It says, remarkably, given his recent comments, Smith has voiced his own concerns about facial recognition software in the past in relation to discrimination, privacy, and human rights. Perhaps his position at Microsoft leaves him with a bit of a blind spot, as the company has been found to violate privacy and is guilty of surveillance itself. Yo, you got iPhones that can unlock based on your face. They scan your face and then they unlock the phone unlocks based on that. And they're using different means to entice people, but they're using that to usher in this beast technology, man. It's here, man. It's here, and the Lord put the Spirit on Apostle Tahar to name this year the year of Karagma, man, because everything we see going on is related to the beast, man, the mark of the beast. All right. So it says here, Windows 10 was criticized for sending data back to Microsoft and for a lack of user opt-out options, and Microsoft was recently exposed conducting large-scale covert gathering of data from its Office users and storing their information in the US, a breach of European GDPR privacy safeguards. In 2014, it came under fire when it was revealed that it read a journalist's Hotmail emails to determine the source of leaked Windows 8 code. It says while tech companies may sell facial recognition software to governments for seemingly noble reasons, the technology, much like the companies themselves, can evolve and morph into something other than than originally intended. Exactly. That is exactly how they play their cards. All right, they start off with a cover story. Well, let me get a precept on that real quick, man. All right, Psalms. I want to say. Uh, those are Psalms, one of the fives, 50 or 5 or 55, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Psalms 55. Okay, 55 and 21. Got it. So it says, man, all right. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay, so that's what these devils do, man. They'll start off smooth words. They'll deceive you, make it seem like it's in your best interest, but their real intention. That's why I said war was in his heart. In his heart, it means his mind. So his real intention is war. It's not peace like he says it is with his mouth. That's why it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So smooth you might say, I can't believe it's not butter. Because that's how they entice you with smooth words, and deceits. Okay, so like it says, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right, and that's how this devil gets you. Okay, and that's why he's called the devil, which means to deceive or deceiver. It says here, Smith himself said it best in a December blog post: the facial recognition genie so to speak, is just emerging from the bottle. Unless we act, we risk waking up 5 years from now to find that facial recognition services have spread in ways that exacerbate societal issues. By that time, these challenges will be much more difficult to bottle back up, which we're not looking for no 5 years, man. All right. But, understanding the concept in which he's saying, man, it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna pass so many secret legislations, they're gonna bring out this technology covering it, all right, with a beautiful outside, all right, to the point where when the inside is released and the darkness is spread out, it's gonna be too late. You know, it's gonna be too late. All right, but this is the world that we're in, man. All right, this is the world that we're living in, and it's gonna get much worse. Trust and believe that. All right, it just takes one event. You know what I mean? Whether it's something that happens at the Super Bowl or a big false flag somewhere, it just takes one event, all right, for them to shut everything down and fully enforce their system, man. Because then they're gonna have a reason to. Okay, but hey, what I mean, we just got to keep our eyes open, all right, and just maintain our trust in Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.